Hello there, I am Gifty Auntie and welcome to TSP with Gifty Auntie. Hello there. You know, anytime I've mentioned my name and said I'm a feminist, the first thing that comes to some people's mind is, she hates men. And there are those who also get confused. And they ask her, but she's always talking about her father. So why is she fighting for women and talking about women? She hardly talks about her mother. Well, there's a story behind it. Let's get my books and read. But one of my sons, one of the respected bloggers and, social media content creators and advocates and activists, recently made a post about we leaving the boys behind. And it just struck a chord. It reminded me about something I read, where a young girl was being taunted for not getting married at her age. And she asked the woman who was taunting her that, did you make me a man? Not just a man, but what kind of man? Are we empowering the girls to come into this world, to partner, to work with, to marry, to become bosses to, or to work under? So today, Kobby is here to tell me more about this campaign that he's embarking on and to convince me why I must join him on this campaign. Well, let me say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise for my fabric, this beautiful outfit, and MDB face, combination. It's a calculation. I have pink for girls, I have blue for boys as well. It doesn't mean he's won me over, but it's by Brie Ridge. Thank you so much to her. My beads by Twinny Crafts. And then, of course, my hair, Avia hair collection, makeup by the Global Makeup Product, Sigma by Maybelline, and then my jewelry, rings by The Boy Fashions. Before I take my seat, join me in welcome the young man I'm so proud of, the one and only Kobby Kyei.
Amazing.
Yeah, good to see. Hey, you smell good though.
Thank you.
Is the perfume in the car or something?
Everywhere I go.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And then well done. I'm so proud of you for everything you've done and continue to do.
Thank you.
Okay, kindly take your seat.
Yes.
All right. So we'll be getting down to some good conversation. And if you're a mother of boys or boys and girls or whoever you are, we are in for a treat. I'll be back. Welcome back to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie, and my guest is Kobby Kyei, who is an online journalist, an activist, and advocate, and he's embarked on many projects that are humanitarian-based. He's received many awards for what he does to help society and to protect society. And the new one that I see, maybe he's doing it, but I term it, Boys' Lives Matter Too. Well, let me say thank you to Venap Mineral Water. It has balanced pH level, it's low in sodium, it has all the minerals that you need in good drinking water, and believe in giving back to society, sharing love, and changing lives. Thank you to Kidville, where all the children's dreams come to life. Anytime you go there, you see the joy, the light in the children's faces, and they have everything from toys, educational toys, to books, to school bags, to clothes, to shoes, everything kids under one big umbrella. And it's on the Spectres Road adjacent Noble House. Any day, Monday to Friday, they are open. Go there and give yourself a treat. Kobby, good to have you on.
Thank you.
Finally.
So much. Finally.
You look smart.
Thank you. You look amazing as well. God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm super humble to be here.
It's an honor. It's an honor to have you. I just wondering how I could get you, and then you brought yourself.
God bless you. Your impact has been generational.
We thank God. You thank God. You know your mom is my friend.
Yes. So one time I was there, and I think when we were growing up, she used to mention it when we're watching you.
Yeah.
That, oh, she knows you, you guys, you know, when we were
And
kids.
she calls me Nana.
Yes.
She doesn't call me Gifty.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nana. So when I became Kobby
Kobby
Kyei,
Kyei.
she said, I think now it would be best for you to approach her. Because, I mean, I don't know where I'll meet you back then, you know.
Yeah.
So I think one time I met you and I said, my mom said she knows you. And you were shocked.
Yeah.
So I called her on the
Yes,
phone.
I
She spoke to
yeah.
you. And you said, you didn't give to auntie. You said, Nana.
Nah.
I
Yes.
said, hey. That was when I actually believed that.
And she knows me. Yes.
She knows you. And mom will be very proud.
Yeah.
To see me on your show.
Exactly. And same, and I'm proud.
This is so inspiring.
I'm proud of you. Really
so
proud
inspiring.
of you.
Yes.
I've said it to you many times, but you know, I'm really proud of you,
Thank you
for all that you do. And you've been able to do it decently. You know, you were one of the nobody can stand anywhere and say that you are one of those bloggers who out there insulting, not, you know, presenting a factual point of view regarding any issue. Tell me, what's made you become this kind of person?
Thank you so much. And a very good day to everyone who is watching.
Right.
Everyone, your crew, I mean, amazing stuff you have here.
They are crazy, don't mind them.
Yes, amazing stuff. I mean, I love how they embrace me here. I think, first of all, I want to say thank you to God.
Man.
Secondly, I want to say thank you to God. Lastly, I want to say thank you to God. And then my parents will come. And then I can use that to address your question. It has been my environment. Growing up as a child, my mom and my dad were people that always wanted us to impact. Because my mom works with Salvation Army Hospital or clinic for so many years at Aguna Diaka.
Yeah.
And my dad also worked with Salvation Army Rehabilitation Center.
Okay.
That unit where my dad was literally taking care of children who were physically challenged and children suffering from cerebral palsy. So I used to play with them.
Okay.
And my mates would go like, yo, why you play with them? But I had so much love for them. So growing up as a child, I could always sense that impact, humanity, because of my dad and my mom. So the discipline, nature, and the God factor that they were able to instill in me when I went to, you know, primary to junior high to senior high school and then becoming Kobby Kyei, I looked back and I told myself that I wouldn't disappoint generation. Amen. I wouldn't disappoint my parents. Amen. And I wouldn't want to disappoint myself. Right. Because if those days, you know, I'll sit back and watch mommy Gifty auntie doing or producing content without sensationalism, without gossip, and still her name was making a significant impact in Ghanaian and African society. Yeah. I told myself that I can also be as decent as possible. Yeah. I'm human. Yeah. But we all are. Yeah. The truth fact is that when you consciously program your mind to know that this is what you want to live your life, God will guide you. So I didn't want to disappoint myself. I didn't want to disappoint myself as a Ghanaian. Right. And so my generation, as in growing up as a child, changed a whole lot of things. And then joining social media platform, I look in the space, and for me, it was very heartbreaking for me to see blogs putting out fake news, blogs putting out, you know, disgracing, you know, disgraceful contents, content that are not uplifting, you know. So, I mean, I watch Kwame Nkrumah. But isn't it tempting for you sometimes? Because they see that the trending and of the fake news and the insults and the smear campaign, that's what earns them money. Exactly. Very tempting. What you do doesn't really bring the money from the YouTube. This is a strong question, you know. Yeah. It takes a lot of discipline to do what I do. Yeah. In a space where, like you rightly said, you need the viewership to get the YouTube content and the money and to be trending everywhere. Yeah. Because you see some story out there, then, you know, people call me, especially when I was coming up. Kobby, Charlie, put it out there, put your logo, it will trend. Charlie, this person is talking, can you see the video? Charlie, will trend. This person has insulted this minister, can you? And I sat back and there wouldn't be any fantasy for me to do it. I don't know. I don't see the worth of it. I don't see the impact of just putting out stories that will trend. I don't believe in that philosophy. I don't believe in that ideology. Because I told myself because always when you are moving forward, when you are moving from Kasua to Tema, you should know the reason why you are going to sit in a trotro in Kasua to move to Tema. If you don't know the reason why you went to the station, your rudiments, the foundation, if you don't know why you are starting, it means you don't know where you're going.
Right.
So that alone told me that even things will come up or trend all over the place on social media. People expect me to post, sometimes I go out and people say, Charlie, you're slow. Sometimes we want you to be posting some things. And I tell them that there are 30 million and overpopulation. I mean, not everybody will love sensationalism.
Yeah.
People want to come on social media to read uplifting content, productive one, advocacy that will change impact.
Right.
Which blogger is doing that? And I stand to correct it. Sometimes you have to blow your own trumpet. I've never seen any blogger in Africa or perhaps the whole world going into rural communities, changing the narrative of what people are going through. Yeah. Nobody, I've done a lot of research. I've never seen that.
No.
So I have come to conclude that this is my calling.
Yeah, I even have goosebumps as you speak and watching, because I'm just thinking, you stand out. And as you've admitted, it's not easy.
Not
and
at all.
everybody throwing. But have you realized the caliber of people it draws to you? I'm just thinking, July this year will be 17 years of me hosting this program. I've never had a blogger on it. And this is a women's platform.
Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much.
God bless you too. This is a women's platform. Why would I call a blogger to come and talk about what it does? Because
Can I get a tissue? I want to cry.
And sometimes I watch you. The caliber of people, sometimes at an awards program, what they say about you. And I sit back somebody who knows your mother and knows, about you. And I'm so much filled with pride.
Thank you.
And one of my greatest, desire, wish, that there'll be a program that I'll be the one to hand over the award to you.
Amen. I believe.
That's one of my greatest wishes. There was one, they didn't let me do that. People fool.
I believe.
I wanted to be the one to hand over to you.
I believe.
But I just want to say that some of us see you and we appreciate you because the kind of people you advocate for and the kind of blogging you do, journalism you do, is just amazing.
So that's the reason why I had to now move away from just calling myself a blogger to an online journalist.
Exactly.
Because I noticed I do a lot.
Yes, exactly. You use your platform to uplift.
Yes.
And I tell my staff all the time that we use this platform to project and uplift. So I'm not bothered about trending.
Exactly.
Trending will bring money. I tell people that 17 years of this show, I can't show you some matoka from profit that I had from this show. Sometimes my own money goes into but the people I meet, the impact, you can't put money to it.
Crazy. I think last year I was there. I had an email that you're invited to speak at the UN. I was at the UN last year, and when I got the email, I was so shocked. I thought it was just,
fake,
spam messages.
Spam,
And truly, I got it on Monday. Thursday, I flew to New York. And they said, I literally also didn't know that I was actually contributing to the SDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals, the UN's goal in making sure that they eradicate poverty. Because I was moving to rural community, providing borehole. Look at my zebra crossing campaign.
Yes.
Yes. And then I was at the UN and I looked at all the people and I was like, God, thank you.
Yeah.
So like you said, sometimes people see me, Kobby, you're big now, you're supposed to be, driving Range Rover. You're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know me for what I drive. I don't want you to know me and have the perception of where I live. I want you to hear my name and have the perception of what I do for humanity. And that's the most important thing. Because I've literally seen a new Benz years ago that we used to stand behind to take pictures that today is dusty. Yeah. Nobody wants to get closer to the same Benz. But the person or the owner, if the person was able to leave a legacy, his name will forever be there.
Right.
I watched Kwame Nkrumah's old tapes, and I'm like, Kwame Nkrumah, even the time where there wasn't any digital footprint, Kwame Nkrumah, the few images that we're supposed to, we're able to document, we are so happy to see them.
Yeah.
So imagine these days that we have social media.
Right.
Now, luckily, your children, because you are also active on social media.
Yes.
Now, look at this example. Your child, what's her name again? Nyam would forever send your message across to her generation because of social media, the digital footprint. So now my children will not say, or my great-great-great-grandchildren will not say, I don't know Kobby Kyei.
Yeah.
Because you don't know your great-great-great-grandfather, do you know?
No.
But if their time, there was social media, you will know.
Yes. Yes.
Because you just Google, you relate to me
in a way but we may not know.
But because of digital footprint, all those history is gone. We are documenting everything you are doing. And it's more dangerous.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So now you can't tell we don't know your great-grandfather.
No, because now it's
yes. So I met a lady who was half naked on social media. I sent her a message. Can you wear the same outfit to buy, say, a tin of milk across the street? He said, no, Kobby, I can't. The person had about 50,000 likes on one picture. And when you have 50,000 likes on one picture, it's not like nipa minuna I click it about 3 times. Nipa could be a 111 and on my click side 50,000. So it means 50,000 people have seen it. And again, there are people that will see it but will not like. So when you enter into the inside, you see how many people it has reached. About 50,000, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
So if I am out there doing what I do, it's not just because I want to say be different, but because I want to make an impact for generation. So be careful what you are putting out there on social media. Don't just follow the noise. Leave a legacy that will be timeless. That future will celebrate you. Because when I'm 60 years, the fulfillment of me watching this interview with you right now will be amazing.
Will be amazing. Were you surprised when I sent you a message that I seen that post?
Yes. So when I saw your message, sometimes I don't rush my process.
Right.
Like you mentioned, I wait for God's timing. So when people call me, when will you go to my Gifty show? When will you go to say Bola Race? I try to follow God's timing. When it is yours, it's yours.
That's yours. Yeah.
Especially when you are not stealing, when you are not insulting, when you are not doing anything negative, and you are going through the process. If it's yours, it will come.
It will come. It will take time. It will come.
When I saw Kobby, I saw your post. I wanted you to come here. The first person that came to mind was my mom. I was like, yo, finally.
Yeah.
And when I got here, I was entering. I was like,
it has happened.
So God bless you so much. And I'm happy and humble to be here for us to have this discussion.
But Kobby, do you know that you are very strict and very passionate?
Very, very.
You're very strict and very passionate.
Very, very.
When you have a stance, you would defend it with everything.
Very, very. I think it's my calling.
What's this issue about? You think that boys are being left behind?
So, apart from...
Well, hold on to that. How many are you in the family?
2 boys, 2 girls.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Yes.
2.
Yes, so I'm the first child.
You are the first child.
And the boy came and then the girls came.
How was growing up like?
So, growing up as a child, my parents were very strict on us. My mom and my dad, the connection was amazing. But I don't know whether to share this, but I think that it will be a lesson to everyone watching, especially parents. Growing up as a child, I noticed that at a point, mommies always wants everything to be centered around them. So this is like a girl child who has grown up to become a mother. So let's look at it from that perspective. Because whatever training that she went through is what she is bringing on board for the children and then our father to relate. Okay, thank you. So her philosophy as a girl child was centered around her. And so when daddy is not home, the narrative is not about daddy is going to work to bring money. Daddy is not going to, don't worry, daddy will come. Daddy. No, there wasn't that conversation. Where's the Opio Komai?
Yeah.
Where's the watcher? Yeah. Where's the Musori Muno? Where's the week when you're not no? And so
I'm laughing because it's natural.
you can relate it.
I can relate.
You can relate. And I was like, so I grew up and I was battling. You know, we're trying to figure it out. So when I was younger, like myself and my brother, I didn't want to pay as a man. So I think growing up as a child, my mom didn't actually state some of the significant input of daddy for us to know clearly from the early stage. But growing up to be a father, then I look back and I understood that for about 1 week, I come home and I don't see my children because when I come, they are sleeping. They wake up, they go to school, I'm now sleeping. So how, when I'm not home, how would wifey narrate the situation to my case to tell them that, Daddy, oko school, Daddy, wako yajuma, anything na muhu no, adi wano tomamo. But imagine if mommy is brainwashing the kids, they will grow up and will always be centered around. So in passing it on, I think generally, what we have to learn, and I think this is a huge platform where people are watching and generations are going to watch.
Exactly.
The problem we have as a society is communication.
I agree.
That's the problem.
I totally agree.
Because at that time when your dad was doing that, your dad should have also communicated why your mommy is not doing that. But because you have that daddy connection, now when you marry, you want, and people are doing, even till date, people who marry and they expect what their dad did for them, for their husband to do for them because they are men.
Yes.
So for us, you're a man, you have to do it because my daddy was doing it for me when I was young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that communication, so my background, I think that there was a break of communication.
Yeah.
And this is not just my time, it was generational communication.
Communication, yes.
Problem.
Yes.
A generational communication problem where the mom and the dad never sat down to bring the children close to say that, you know what, you don't see daddy home often. However, this is the reason why I am doing this. Mommy is not in the country, daddy is not in the country, daddy is doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing up, do you know my fantasy? It's when I see a family where I see mother, father, children sitting at one table.
Eating.
I am fekeke.
But in our current dispensation, because I
never had that, and it was my dream to have it.
So I think that communication.
Yeah.
So growing up, I think that was that you should have, and this has transcended to a lot of families. And back to that subject, the reason why you write it.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel that because of all these backgrounds that we've given,
we
are not giving the boy child enough attention. I remember Nana Kunudu Ajima,
former first lady.
Former first lady. I think there was a system or a policy in empowering young girls.
Send your girl child to school.
I remember because I was a little boy and I remember
I was in that video.
Yes. You know, I still have that image.
Yeah.
The big question is, imagine, I am a boy, I saw it. Psychologically had a negative implication on me because then they were empowering young girls. And the boy, as a child, I was left out. And the whole policy and the narrative was about the girl child. And up until now, I was expecting that there will be a policy where they are going to balance it or also focus on the boy child. But there's even till now in this current dispensation 2025, the same narrative is the girl child internationally, from the UN, from global, whatever, ranking, whoever empowerment, girl child. Now, these same girl child are growing up to meet the boy child on the top and say that daddy didn't do this to me. And forgetting that when you were creating policies and a structure to empower these people, you left the boy child out. You get me?
Yes.
And when you go to a lot of institutions, the focus is about the girl child. In a bit, the reason why they did that for me, because if I'm standing out, I must also understand why they did that. The reason why I feel that they did that was that at a point, it was all about the men.
Yeah.
Men on top of issues. You know, when you go to a lot of companies, men were there. So how can we balance that gender inequalities where females or the women can also head from the top hierarchy of, decision making, women will be there. Fantastic idea. But You must, because the rudiments of everything is important. The foundation. Now you go on social media, and if there's, sorry to say, a rape case on a child, very bad and horrible experience. Yeah. We know. But do you know how many boy child that people are raping that they can come out to speak about it? A lot of homes, most men, as I'm speaking right now, their aunties and their cousins are sleeping with them because they are boys. They can't come out to speak.
Yeah, there are lots of boys whose first sexual experience were
their relatives.
Relatives, yeah.
And they can never, because when you talk, and you know, traditionally, another problem is bemensu ututua etribemabo.
Yeah.
It's me fie na me ma me ka kire say bemensu ya ka kire papa say bemensu no. Me say hey, me say be yin o, it's me say bemensu. So traditionally, culturally, the narrative of bemensu na bema de two etribemabo, we have sort of psychologically, emotionally, in our society, we've been able to conscientize the mindset that if you are a boy child, there's no advocacy for you. Mm. When you go to a lot of schools, best students, they are looking at the female best students. Mm. You see a lot of companies, corporate organizations, they organize NGOs, they want to have an advocacy or empowerment program. They are looking at the women. It is beautiful. I'm not saying that they should stop.
Yeah, I get you.
What I'm saying is that there should be a balance. I send you a news
about
headline.
Girls. Yes.
About how they are saying now in senior high school, the girls
are more.
When I came, your production team were, they were making fun. Mommy, Unim Red.
Yeah.
If you watch the videos on social media, what's the percentage of the boy and the girls? So the parents must...
Hold on, let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the way forward. What do you think can be done to balance, the equation so that the girls who are coming will also meet empowered men?
Absolutely.
You're watching TSP with Gifty, and I'm sure you're enjoying it. I've told you about Kobby. Kobby, when he's passionate about something, he goes all out and he makes a lot of sense. But we'll fight. Don't worry, we'll fight. Again, I say thank you to House of Food, Auntie Vera and the team. Thank you so much. Thank you to Yep Cleaning Services, who keep our environment clean. Thank you to Zen Gardens, Eden Gate Garden for my beautiful natural plants. We're so grateful to them. This is for Poco and the family. Thank you. Bigger Drinks. Thank you. And Juice Time, 100% fruit juices from the farm to the factory to the bottle to the shelf. They do it all. So when I say it's 100% fruit juice, trust me, it is. We'll be back. Welcome back to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie. And the behind the scenes conversations is another show on its own,
Exactly.
Well, I say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise for my fabrics. They are to do opposite the fire service. Thank you so much to them. And my outfit is by Brie Redua. Beads by Twinny Crafts. And then jewelry, accessories, earrings, and rings, watch by the boy fashion. Thank you so much to them. Makeup, the Global Hair, Avia Hair Collection, and what else? Makeup products, Sigma by Maybelline. That's Sigma Health and Beauty. Thank you so much to them. So, Kobby, what is the way forward?
The way forward is that it starts from home. If you give birth to your child or your children, the whole narrative starts from you, because the moment you give birth to a boy or a child, you are starting a generation. You have a baby girl.
Yeah.
That's a next generation of Gifty Auntie.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it must start. The conversation must start. When you give birth, a boy and a girl, make sure that you pay attention to the boy child. Now, guess what? I don't know in the rest of the world or the countries surrounding us, but one of the things, and I stand to be corrected, actually, the moment the girl child starts growing, we begin to psych them from their menstrual cycle, from sexual education, from the people they have to meet, what they have to be careful when they are going out to do this. Even when they are preparing them for marriage, they will sit them down and educate them. Do we have the same narrative for the boy child? Because, hey, Kwame, you are in senior high school, you go to the university, you date, you have a girlfriend, you will soon become a father. Is the father or the mother going to sit down with the boy child to educate them about the consequences and how they can even respect women? Most of the guys don't respect women because we didn't have time to consciously educate the boy child. That's what I said from my preamble. The girl child, you train the girl child to come meet a stubborn boy child.
Yeah.
Because I use myself as an example. My uncle or my parent never had the opportunity to sit me down and say that when you marry, make sure you do this, do this. The only advice I received was during the engagement.
Well, even strangers
advising me. Meanwhile, the lady knew a lot of things.
Right.
Oh, Ajwa, you marry soon. I didn't men you couldn't say, but me and be. So the home settings. The home settings where when you give birth to a girl, you want to treat the girl different from the boy child.
Yeah.
Then to education, school. Because chunk or most of these boys and girls also spend time in school. Now, I use myself as an example again. Whilst I was in school, anytime you don't have desks to sit, they will tell the girls to go and sit down. Boys, stand behind the window or stand by the window or go and stand behind somewhere. Then the girls will be sitting down. When a boy and a girl, we've done, some horrible stuff in school, which is deserving of some huge punishment. Hey, Che, go and read. The girl, go and carry water. Just like how let me just even chip in this. Just like how we have in our school system, people not find agriculture attractive because when you look at agriculture textbook,
it's
you
punishment.
See how because I'm reading about agriculture, farming, and Nippon Odeche, it's not, a nice gentleman who wants to do agriculture, but Abrewan is saying to okra poma. You're not from that onset, you're not making it attractive to me. So from school, education, we must make sure that head teachers are listening, principals, make sure that you find a system where when you're advocating for the girl child, the same energy, you see the energy they give to the girl child, I want them to amplify the same energy, equal energy, give it to the boy child. Now, society, let's not ridicule the boy child to say that you're a man, you can do it on your own.
Alone.
Because we've pushed that narrative for so many years, generations after generation. And 2025, we are starting this on your show. Everyone watching me right now, if you are dating your boy, you don't say that because he is a boy, so he must provide for you, regardless of the situation. If I tell you how men are struggling because they can't share what they are going through, but women can share. When you go on TikTok, you see women coming on live to cry with their issues. But how many times do you see men coming out to say that I'm going through, even when I don't have money and my parents call me, there's always a nice way to even go about the whole situation. But I'm from Bana.
Yeah.
So if you don't empower, if you go to a lot of senior high schools and look at how the boys are behaving, the way they dress, the way they behave there, it's like as though there's nobody's paying attention to them.
So nobody trains them, tells them it is wrong to beat a woman.
Yes.
It is wrong to talk to a woman in a certain way. It is wrong to even have sexual intercourse with a girl when you are not ready for it. Those things are not being told.
And how to even manage your emotions.
Emotions. And another one, how to manage your emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
How to manage your emotions. So a lot of people out there, the boys out there, I beg.
And you hear some of what I hear parents say, oh, so you're a bema. As for he's a boy, he's a boy, he's a man. It's you who you are the girl. But then if you don't teach the boy, you're making so much sense, from what you're talking about. I totally get you and I totally agree.
I know there's a ministry of gender.
Yes.
Can you tell me their mandate?
The Ministry of Gender, now they add, the men to it as well. Gender is both men and women.
Previously, it was centered around...
Yeah, like Dofsu. Dofsu used to be about, it used to be Waju.
Waju, yes.
Waju was women, it was all about women. The Dofsu is domestic violence, so it's all inclusive. Men go, women go, children go, old, and now it's very encompassed, very embracing and very gender balanced. But the thing is, once again, what you're talking about, how many men will go and say that my wife has beaten me up, or my wife has maltreated me, or my wife, they will not go. Because they feel that you're a man, or you're a bema, they will laugh at you, they will tease you, and so you will not go. It's always the women going. We've not raised men to be assertive in that area, where they can speak up and speak up freely. Let me give you a typical example. And, we are going to talk after this one, the program that's coming about sexual harassment in tertiary institutions. There was a story that came about sexual harassment and all that. And I wrote about the fact that we should talk about the boys too, because boys also get sexually harassed. And Mansa get sexually harassed by some of the female teachers. Come and see the boys. The way they bash me, they said, have they sent me? Am I their spokesperson? Oh, I'll find it. It's still on social media. I screenshot, those and I posted and I said, oh.
It still goes back to the orientation.
I just went, I posted and the web. I said that I am sorry I spoke for you guys. He said, we enjoyed. Have we complained?
That is so horrible.
Can you imagine? They said, have we complained? Who asked you to speak for us?
But Auntie, can you blame them? You can blame them. Because of the orientation from the beginning. The orientation was that they are feely, namely the feely. So when they feel, and a lot of female teachers are harassing the boys.
Yeah.
It's fine,
it happens.
Boys.
Yes.
Even now.
Yeah.
So the point is that it has just from beginning.
Yeah.
Can a boy walk up to the police station and say that a lady has raped me? The police officer will laugh at the boy.
Kobby, that's why I'm your auntie. One of the first programs we did on the standpoint, that time we used to record at African Region Hotel, was young boys who were abused. And there were these two young men who came on. They said when they were young, their mothers used to leave them for a neighbor who was like an auntie and who was sexually abusing them. And they grew up with this pain and anger in them. So they grew up and they had this clique. He says it's like a cult. So they target married women. She said they even use spiritual. At that time, they add some spiritual aspect to it. Somehow they will get you. And when they are sleeping, when they have sex, so they'll record. Sometimes not a tape. They'll record you and keep it. And anytime they call you, you have to come. They use it to black. If you're sleeping at night with your husband by you, you will get up and come.
But will you be shocked if I tell you maybe it's still happening?
I won't be surprised. At that time, I had to cover their faces because they said they had, repaired. Now they do it. One of them is now going around. For the last time I heard of him, he was going around schools, educating people about, male child abuse and all that. But that is where I agree with you, that they can't speak up. They keep it within them and they become resentful in future and they vent it.
Yes. So with education, let me go back to education again. Yeah. In our school settings, anytime a female reports an issue with a teacher, they seem to take the lady's point serious than what the boy will say. Yeah. So for instance, madam, this boy did something to me. Immediately, boy, I know GB things. Yeah. Whether true or false, then you have to harbor a lot of things in you. Again, the churches, because it's also another space where people spend a lot of time there. I think consciously, from the Sunday school, from the youth ministry to the women ministry and the men ministry and all that, they have to consciously, because you are building the women ministry and the men ministry, the foundation is very important.
The foundation is very important.
So we should advocate. That's why, a blogger, sometimes when I do some of these things,
you are not a blogger, you are an online journalist. You're qualified.
Yes, like this is a boy on social media doing all these. And some of these things that, Auntie, I don't do them for
fame or anything.
For fame, or even doing it for this generation.
Yeah.
With the Zebra Crossing campaign, with me going to village, everything that I do now as Kobby Kyei, I'm doing it for the next generations.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing me for us to have this discussion, because it's so heartbreaking.
What is your next move with regards to this?
My next move is to still use my platform to advocate. And I'm hoping that from your interview, other stakeholders will also involve me,
right,
so that we can move to, sort of like a high school tour,
right,
move to churches. People, it's not even about me. It's about people even picking it up.
Yeah.
Pastors preaching about it. Principals in schools and radio stations, teachers, everybody. Let's join the conversation. Because you look at a lot of the youth now on drugs, the boys.
These days, the girls are catching up. It's scary.
They are catching up, but the boy child. What the more fans the kakra.
Yes, your mom also fans.
At least for the girl child, we have a whole lot of. Sometimes when you go to some companies, they have a whole budget to empower women.
Yeah.
How many men go to banks and say, "Please help me build my business"? But there's always a funding for the women in the marketplaces. It's a man on your throw mate now no what be no they no kawana. And to our parents, we beg of them, when you give birth, the training of the child right from the onset, emotionally, psychologically, train them to be of value to themselves, to be important. Let them be part of the family. And to mothers, don't change the narrative like a lot of the mothers are doing. If the father is working, let the child know that your dad is a busy man. Don't try to change the narrative because you want the child to like you. A lot of men are actually out there suffering, but they can't say it. So if you're a mother out there and you have children at home, daddy is busy, don't tune the child's mind in letting them think that daddy on traffic.
Yeah.
I know there are stubborn fathers out there.
Yeah.
However, there are also a lot of them who are building something for the family, but because they don't stay home. This thing I'm saying, I know a lot of fathers will be happy, like, and then I hear it to show, but on to me, but we feel it.
Yeah.
That is what feel it. Yes, because that we feel it, because we man can be a couple friend call and catch up and say, oh, me pia, yes, be a mekobo brabia, muntia, but me tena fie no, me pia, mundidi. Or baby to me worry Nikunu kwatena bochi for so many years. No, they grew up with the mother.
Yeah.
So if the mom don't, fine tune and have something nice to tell the children, Obaka said, "Okotena bochi, 100 years no buy."
No, so what is it? But you see, Kobby, everything you are saying, I get it.
The point is that.
But fathers must also, some of the fathers must learn to communicate. You came back to that.
That's what I'm saying, communication.
Tell the kid, tell your wife, let them know. No happy wife will tune the mind of the children against the father. Because when your wife knows what you're doing, when he knows where you are, why you're doing what you're doing, I don't think would deliberately do that. I mean, some people out of Abroni Beyinti will do that. But most of the people, women, will not do that because they know what you're doing. And now the age of technology.
Call them. Video calls.
Call them.
Yes.
Just something. But my father, those times, there were not even phones at home. My father is traveling. Odu baby, a post office, there's a phone. He will stop and call us. And they will call us from the neighbor's house
to go and
speak to.
I remember.
So that's how I always talk about my father, because my father was very communicative. And he was there. Not physically there all the time, but our brabum.
So communication.
Communication.
So
and again, it goes back to how we raise them to be communicative. So even if there's a gap now, we must learn to bridge it by raising young men and by sensitizing even the older ones to be more communicative. And then we women to understand that we need a balance.
Yes, we have advocated for the young, for the girl child. 100% amazing. Yeah. I think you
have a daughter?
Yes.
Yes. And a son?
No, I have 2 girls.
2 girls, okay.
I think we have done well in advocating for the girl child. However, I think that
we are leaving the boy child
boys.
behind.
And that's what I'm preaching.
Yes.
The same energy that we use in uplifting the girl child and giving them that enabling environment to thrive, we must the same way give what they're trying, but in Kwalano, the boy child is my problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of boys now are lacking confidence. Kwame, hey, or then the banner come more, no money one with you, hey, Kwame, yeah, one could so she more. To a boon of your confidence level, no crown, what kill a crown confidence. So, to the parents, to churches, to leaders in this country, the gender ministry, let's collectively make it a conscious effort in also training the boy child. So that when our focus, is built on the girl child, they grow up, obviously, they will meet the boy child on the way.
Yeah. And so when we have an empowered boy child and an empowered girl child, that's when we can get a better society. Because
Obaya Wawuni, look at the training you are giving her. But which uncle she has stubborn?
Allah, God forbid.
And escafon man also be man girls don't go share stubborn boy child no. Because I know there or stubborn. What I say? It's only emotions. Because you built your daughter to understand to manage emotions at home. But ono kwalano, ono boy no, because only sanema no, omo my girls in broken heart, left, right, center. They can't communicate their feelings.
God minus
the reason why you're doing this, yes.
Amen.
So please join this force because you have a girl child. So that Osha boy child
it just hits me. That's why I called. I said we needed to have this conversation.
Thank you.
And indeed, you have opened not just me, and I'm sure a lot of people watching. You've opened our eyes to a lot of things, and we need to find a fine balance. We've come to a point where we need to find a fine balance because the gender empowerment, women empowerment, feminism is not about women taking the place of men. It's about women finding their rightful places alongside the men.
You should write a book. I know these days you are writing a lot of books. I think you should.
Yeah, I'm writing the one that is coming out in May is Letters from Mama, and this is one of the topics.
What is inspiring on that?
Maybe now
like, I want to interview you.
It's just like what started my book writing experience. I broke my ankle and I was in a cast. You know me, I'm very busy, always on the beat, very restless. And it was nearly driving me into depression because being at one place and my daughter couldn't play with me because she would push my leg and, fracture it a bit more. And I was getting into depression. And then somebody sent me, I do this short video, a bit of me.
Yes.
Sent me one of those videos where I was talking about, life happens and that one step at a time, there's a time that you have to relax. I was just talking about that and that helped me. And I said to myself, what if I had a book that I could have read a long time before I got to this stage of depression? What if I had a book? What if somebody hadn't sent me something that I had said? What would have happened? Technology is perfect, but it's not always reliable. Look at what happened quite recently when WhatsApp and all that.
Instagram shut down.
Yes. But when you have a book, a paperback, a daho, you can reach out and read. Or you've read before. We all have books that we've read and reread and every time. My latest book for my daughter, God knows how many times I've read it. Because anytime I'm stranded, I feel depressed or stressed as a mother, I pick the book, I read, I laugh, and that reminds me of something. That's what started my book writing. And I'm a student of literature. I love reading. I love writing. I'm a journalist. So I just decided, So,
congratulations. I have a friend, Fini, who wrote a whole book about some inspiring people, and you were part.
Really?
I came with him. So I told I was coming to meet you.
Wow.
And he came. So
oh wow!
So I don't know why he said they were bringing the book. It's on the way.
The book is on the way.
It's on the way. Yes. Okay. So you have a copy.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
So he featured amazing. You inspire or you're so.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know him from anywhere. He just sent me a message. I said, and you were part of the people. So I had to forward the book.
Oh, wow.
So yes, so I did a forward for him,
him.
and you
That's
were
good.
inside. I said, "Yo, I think it would be best for you to meet,
too.
to meet Auntie."
That's amazing. Thank you very much. And when are you writing a book?
It's on its way. It will come.
Amen to
Very,
that.
very inspiring. Very
Thank you
inspiring
very
story.
much. It's been awesome having a chat with you, Kobby.
Thank
And
you
I'm
so
sure this
much.
will not be the last.
Please invite me
you just say,
anytime.
I will.
Anytime.
I will. And
Anytime.
I'm with you on that,
This year I'm having my Shine Summit, so you have to come. Last year you missed.
This year I'm coming.
This year you have to.
By
Yes.
God's grace.
August. You have it
Inshallah,
in
I'll be there.
Yes.
August, I'll be there. Okay. All right. So I'll be talking to Kobby Kyei, who's an online journalist, a philanthropist, a humanitarian, and of course, activist and advocate. The new one is empowering the boy child too. I'll be back with a bit of me. Thank you, Kobby.
Thank you so much, Mommy.
Thank you. How did you feel when you were told that there's a vacancy for you, there's a stool that you need to occupy, being a reverend minister and a prophetess? Not a reverend minister in any church, not as the St. Quentin Church, a Baptist church in the United Kingdom.
I know. My first answer was no. I said they've got the wrong candidate. I said no. Honestly, I said to them, you've got the wrong person. And I said to Nana, you need to have this conversation with my mom. Yes.
But why was it difficult for you to accept?
I think, again, scripture says my people perish for lack of knowledge. And a lot of the times we have heard so many negative things about chieftaincy, and we haven't taken the time to actually study scriptures, not knowing and grasping the concept that actually kingship came from scriptures, from the foundation of the Bible. The first king that ever lived was installed by the prophet Samuel, And so we talk about the kings in the Bible, but when it comes to us, it's a different understanding or a different perception or concept or whatever. So I've had to really, really go back to school.
And how were you able to sell it to your superiors when it comes to the Baptist convention? We know they are very conservative.
Yes.
You are not saying, I'm saying it because I'm a Baptist.
You're a Baptist, yes. To be honest, they were very receptive because they looked at it from the angle of the old tradition in scriptures, and then they looked at it from the point of culture, and they also looked at it from the place of being the first. You'll see that in my story, I'm always the first of this, the first of that, the first of that.
Right.
And so they actually embraced it. And a majority of them are very, very curious to what it entails. And so I had to go straight to the head of the Baptist Union to say, this is my story, and I have a mentor who is also the first of her journey. And she said at the end of the route, this is your story. This is your journey. This is what God has called you. This is the space that God is leading you into.